guys, welcome back. Joe again here from their World Aquatics, and finally, after what feels like 2 years, it's time. I just got so many projects going on. Back here, this looks like a big old collect-all, and kind of it is, but that is a beast. And a lot of guys would probably love to have a tank like that. And what do? I just kind of walk around it and I put stuff on top of it. I don't even think much about it, but finally it's time to get into it. We need to build a stand for this 540-gallon aquarium. That monster right there is 12 foot long, 3 feet from the back, and 2 foot tall. We got to get it done because I need to get this area clear, because up there, doesn't make much sense, there's actually a 900-gallon aquarium. We need to bring the supply and return lines down here because this is where the new filtration system is going to be for that tank. But before we get into that, we got to get into this. So with that being said, in this video, let's build the stand for a beast, 12 foot long, 540-gallon aquarium. Let's get into it. So first things first, this bulkhead in the 90 that's on the back pushes us to about 5.5 inches roughly. Now the original owner, he had the ability to work on the back of the tank from behind the tank. In my situation, we're not going to have that ability. So I really want the supply and return lines that are coming from the 540 dump right into the bottom of the sump. Well, to do that, I don't want a stand that's 36 inches front to back. I think what we're going to do is we're going to push it out a little bit deeper, and we're actually going to take this thing all the way down to probably around 42 inches. All right, well, first things first, let's tear this thing apart, because obviously this is no good. We got to start over with all new wood. Here we go. Okay, that didn't take long. We got a big old pile of wood, so now we can try to repurpose a lot of that into the new stand. But here's where we're at now. I've got two 12-foot long womanized 2x6. So we're going to start all new, and like I said, I want a wider footprint, because we want to build that sump down inside the stand to obviously run the 540. And I'm still kicking around the idea of having this particular filtration system also run the 900-gallon tank upstairs. So now that this is in position, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting a couple other boards, start locking in the base, and then eventually we're going to start going up. But I'm not quite sure where we're going to land, but did mark it a long time ago right there, and then 24 inches up takes us to way up over here. There's a mark right there. Yep. So, all right, let's at least get the base locked in, and then we'll start going up with all the boards. All right, so I've got the base built, and you can see I've got 5 boards in between the front and back. Got everything locked down. And now it's time to start going up. But one of the things that we're looking at is this crazy looking sump that I had made a couple years ago. The lower portion I found somewhere. I don't even know where the heck I found it, but the inside, we had that built. Now what's going to happen is that's going to raise up a little bit, and it's designed to take on 8 filter socks. And I thought that'd be kind of cool to somehow incorporate this, sump inside of a sump, and then the 900-gallon tank, the supply lines coming from it would drop right down into here. So I want you guys to see this real quick. It's about 3 foot wide and 4 foot long. So somehow we want to get that intertwined with this. Okay, so this is where things start to get a little bit complicated, and you really got to forecast. So here are the 3 supply lines coming from the 540, right? And then way over here is the return line. We talked about this a few seconds ago. And way down here is the second one at 12 foot away. So we have to accommodate for that back of the stand. So what I went ahead and did was I leveled this, made a mark right here. This is about 8 inches apart. See, I got the one line there, another one over there. Way down here, we're leaving a space between here and there, and then way down at the other end, you can see 8 inches off the wall, because we got to have, I can't be putting a board right up against the wall, because then I won't be able to get the actual pipe down through the stand if I've got a board going all the way across. So we need to leave an opening there, there, and there, but I also have to accommodate now for the 900, which is going to be coming in from the top. Let me just kind of move over here a little bit. You can see that there's one 2-inch pipe there, and there's another one that's going to be sneaking right through there. And those are going to come on the side of the wall and then come down through the stand. So in reality, we need to make this just a tad wider for 2 more pipes to come down to feed into that sump. The top now has been built. Everything there is 16 center. I went ahead and sistered up the two front 2x4s. And in the back, we've got our little spacers, I guess we'll call it, because this is definitely a unconventional build here. This is not like a typical stand. It's definitely custom, so don't do what I'm doing. There's a lot of different ways to build a stand, but this one is kind of an as-build, and it'll make more sense as it comes together because of so many different things that are going on with this particular stand. Now that 2x4 that's on the wall, that's just the guide. Everything's going to be sitting on top of that, so that's probably going to be just a board that's there for a few moments while we go ahead and put everything in position, and then we'll start putting in all the vertical boards in place. All right, so now this is what it looks like when it's all put together. So now the next step is go ahead and put everything in position and throw some temporary boards in the front, kind of lock it down. Ooh, man, that baby is up in the air. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I went just a tad too high. So I've just got the temporary board on it. I mean, obviously that's going to look kind of sweet because the tank's like right up there up in your face. Definitely enough room to create a massive sump. So yeah, I think I'm going to stare at this for probably an hour or two before I make my final call on all the vertical boards that holds this thing together. But man, I don't know, that's a tough call. It does look kind of cool though. All right, so we got the verticals in, and boy, I tell you what, it's really starting to take some shape now. The final height is going to be 47 inches. Well, that's where we're at right now. I still got to put on the plywood, which is going to be 3/4 thick. You can see right there, we're at 47 to the top of the 2x4s. But yeah, it's starting to come together now. And hopefully here by the end of the day, it really starts to show its colors. All right, so we are definitely getting closer. I just spent the last couple hours working on this thing, and man, I tell you what, it's starting to look good. I went ahead and actually added some boards on the bottom. You can see the 2x4s right there between the 2x6s because I was a little bit nervous of maybe some deflection once the plywood goes on. So we went ahead and added those. You can see I've got a 2x6 around the perimeter. That's kind of locking in all the verticals. And I also put in some boards way up underneath, right there. That's going to give us some more support. And then way down there. All right, guys, let me give you a quick update. We unfortunately lost a couple clips during the filming of the stand. So we're obviously jumping forward here because I literally lost the clips when I was moving them over from the cell phone to the computer. And next thing you know, I lost the whole folder. So, well, obviously we're jumping forward. And as you can see, the stand is looking really good. Got the plywood on the top. See on the back, I've got the little holes knocked out where the supply lines are going to be coming through. So that portion's done, 3/4 plywood on top, and you can see up underneath, we're wrapped in 2x6s around the upper and lower perimeter, and right here on the center line, I went ahead and used two 2x10s back to back. So this thing's not going anywhere, so we're definitely locked in all the way around. So I guess the next step right now is to put plywood on the bottom and the sides, kind of boxing this thing in, and then I guess it's time for paint. So, but yeah, there's the 12-foot stand. Pretty heavy duty, tall, wide, I mean thick. I should have no problem holding that tank.